We don't take photographs because we have cameras. We have cameras because we can't stand the idea of moments disappearing. That's really what's going on every time you lift a phone or a camera to your eye. On the surface, you're just pressing a button. Underneath, you're wrestling with time, memory, meaning, and control. Photographers have been trying to explain this twitch in our fingers for decades. Their words give us a good map of why we keep making pictures. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I am going to be talking about why we take photographs. And while I talk about this, I'll be showing on screen a collection of photos that I took on my last trip to South Africa. During that trip, I visited Pretoria as well as Cape Town. I took quite a lot of pictures, which I usually do when I travel. On the screen, you're going to see photos that I took randomly, some of them with my iPhone, some with my GoPro Hero 9, and a lot of them with my Lumix G7. So let's get into the video. Street photographer Gary Winogrand put it bluntly: I photograph to see what something would look like photographed. It sounds almost circular, but it's surprisingly deep. The camera doesn't just record what you see, it changes what you see. It flattens the world into a rectangle, cuts out the noise, forces you to notice relationships like a splash of light on the pavement, two strangers mirroring each other's posture, or somebody really laughing or crying. It just basically helps you to notice things more. Dorothea Lange, if I am pronouncing her name right, said, "The camera is an instrument that teaches people how to see without a camera. At first, you use the camera to look at the world. After a while, the world starts to look different even when the camera is in your bag. You notice shadows, gestures, tiny dramas on the street. Photography becomes a way of training your attention." And I totally agree with this. Ever since I started photography, I find that I notice things more, especially when I'm on a trip, like a road trip. I'm out there clicking away with my camera, but even when my camera is not in my hands, maybe tucked away in my bag, I just tend to notice things like maybe the way a goat is standing by the road about to cross, or the way a bird lands on a branch, or the way a kid runs around playing a ball, or something like that. So we take photographs because we're trying to see our lives more clearly. Henri Cartier-Bresson, the poet of the decisive moment, said, "Of all the means of expression, photography is the only one that fixes a precise moment in time. A song disappears as soon as it is sung. A conversation evaporates after it's spoken. But a photograph freezes one heartbeat and refuses to let it go." Susan Sontag took this a step darker. She said to take a photograph is to participate in another person's mortality, vulnerability, mutability. Every photo quietly says, "This was real once. Whatever you see in that frame was real once. This child was this small once. This street looked like this once. These people stood together on this day once." So it helps you to participate in people's history or a community's history over time. We know painfully that all of that will change. The camera becomes our small protest against that change, a way of telling time that yes, you can move on, but this right here in this picture, this stays. We take photographs because we are scared of forgetting and because we want proof that we were really there. Ansel Adams said, "You don't take a photograph, you make it." That single word swap, take to make, is the whole craft. A photograph isn't just whatever falls in front of the lens. It's where you choose to stand, what you choose to leave out, when you choose to click, how you shaped light, tone, and color, or how you later cropped, printed, or posted it. All of these are what goes into making a photograph. Cartier-Bresson described photography as catching a creative fraction of a second when everything in the frame aligns and you react. We're not neutral, we're choosing what matters. This protest sign, not that billboard. This tender glance, not that empty hallway. This window with the light streaking through, and not that flower or tree in the background. We choose what we want to capture, we choose what we want to put in the frame. So the photo becomes an argument about what is really important at that time, at that moment. So we take photographs to say, look here, this is what I think is worth seeing. This is what I think is important right now. This is the photograph I choose to make. Aaron Siskind said, photography is a way of feeling, of touching, of loving. What you have caught on film is captured forever. It remembers little things long after you have forgotten everything. So we take photographs to feel and to remember how a moment felt. Most of our favorite photographs are technically bad by textbook standard. Sometimes the photographs may be too soft, not too sharp, crooked, or badly lit. But guess what? Many of those so-called bad photographs are emotionally perfect, because that blurry, unsharp, poorly taken picture of friends in a dim room or of sisters during a birthday party, it may be the sharpest record you have of a whole season of your life. Look at an old photograph and your brain doesn't just recall the scene, it actually reloads the mood, the weather, the music, the joke someone just told, the worry you had that later turned out fine, or even evokes memories of a certain scent or smell. We take photographs because our minds are leaky and some feelings are just too precious to trust to memory alone. And so we take the photograph. It reminds us of the moment that we don't want to forget. Susan Sontag again said, to collect photographs is to collect the world. Every camera roll is a tiny museum. Cities, faces, receipts, sunsets, screenshots. We're building our own private version of reality, one rectangle at a time. Sometimes this is gentle, like family albums, travel photos, Instagram stories. Sometimes it's about power or authority, like ID photos, surveillance, propaganda, image building. Sontag called photography a way of certifying experience. This happened, I was here. But it can also be a way of stepping back from experience. Instead of fully living a moment, we manage it as content. We take photographs because turning life into images makes a chaotic world feel a little more organized and a little more ours. Winogrand again said, my only interest in photography is to see what something looks like as a photograph. I have no preconceptions. Sometimes there's no grand message, just curiosity. Sometimes we just take photographs because we're curious and we want to play, we want to experiment. Sometimes just out of curiosity we say, what happens if I shoot through glass? If I focus on the reflection instead of the subject, what happens? If I shoot in black and white, what happens? Sometimes photography is just a way of satisfying our creative curiosity, because photography lets you experiment with reality without breaking or changing it. Frame, click, see what you get, try again. It's science, art, and play, all sharing the same toy and all happening together. We take photographs because it's fun to mess with light and with time. So, why do we take photographs? Put it all together and there isn't a single answer. It could be that we're trying to see our world more clearly. It could be we're trying to hold time still for a heartbeat. It could be we're trying to shape reality into something that makes sense. Or we're trying to remember not just how life looked, but how it felt. It could be we're just trying to collect and organize a world that scares or overwhelms us, or that moves too fast. And we're curious creatures who like to play with machines that trap light. So every time we raise a camera, whether it's a Leica or a cracked smartphone, we're making the same quiet statement. We're saying, this matters to me. I want this moment to exist twice. Once in reality and once in a photograph. That, more than megapixels or lenses or settings, is why, in my opinion, we keep pressing the button. What do you guys think? Share with me in the comments and tell me why you like to take photos or why you take photographs. Whether you're a professional or an amateur, just share your own little reasons why you always click that shutter every now and then. Thanks for watching this. See you again in another video real soon.